Welcome to the Magnet for Love podcast. Does the idea of meeting the man of your dreams feel impossible to you? We are here to help you. This is your host, Lorna Poole, sharing the secrets of men, love, and relationships so you too can succeed in love. Haven't found the one yet? Looking for some answers? Head on over to www.lornapoole.com to find out more. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Magnet for Love podcast. With me today is Sandy Dapoz, matchmaker and founder of Volt Connection Matchmaking and dating service Toronto and Los Angeles. Sandy's business and passion is helping people connect with the right quality people and using rigorous screening to weed out those game players and the insincere. So with me today, we're going to talk about dating games that men play and what to watch out for. Hi, Sandy. Great to have you here.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
I love our subject because a lot of women don't really know what to look out for to weed out those men that from the beginning are never, ever going to give you what you need, right? So
exactly.
Explain what a game player is or what that looks like.
So a game player is basically, it's an open market for shopping. So what I mean by that, they're not looking for a serious relationship or commitment. They're just out there playing the field, getting as many ladies as possible, more than one than usually at the time. And they really don't get their feelings or any emotions involved. It's all a game of manipulation and taking control.
Why do you think they do this?
Well, in today's society, as you know, the dating apps, online dating, it's easier now than ever to play the game. Play a bunch of several dating games. And why not, right? If you have the opportunity to do it and take advantage of it, then why not? But then again, it comes to as us being ladies to be aware of it and recognize the game that's being played on you. So it's both parties' responsibilities to recognize the signs.
What are the signs of a player?
Usually, majority of the time, it's dreamy. It's, that knight in shining armor. It's too fast, too soon. And that's how they try to, how do I say this? Get you in more, get you more emotionally involved. Through texts, and usually it's through texts. They don't like to call.
It's the kind of guy that he compliments you. He's something like you've never met before. He's very charming. He's very romantic. He makes you feel really good when you're with him.
Exactly. He'll try at times too hard to go over and beyond and impress you in several ways, such as bragging about his success, his income, being flashy, who they're connected to, who they know. Just really try to wheel you in and impress you and convince you like, hey, you're, I'm a catch. Like me. I have this, I have the nice car, I have money. But usually most of the time too, they have all these actions, but they never follow up with their words. So they leave a lot of empty promises and they're not reliable at all.
And I love that you said that typically their words and actions don't match.
Exactly. And like I said, the first usually red sign is they text, but they're not being a gentleman and placing extra effort to pick up the phone and call you and hear your voice, and actually, tell you, hey, we're meeting at this day at this time. Everything is wishy-washy, vague. And then as ladies, when we're at that state and you're like, just beginning to be goo gaga with the dreamy guy, we start to fantasize and play these episodes in our mind, little mind games on ourselves, because you're excited, right? You're excited to meet this wonderful guy, whoever he is. So your expectations aren't being realistic.
And you said something about like he texts but he never calls. A very typical sign of a player is that he's inconsistent between the dates. And as you say, or maybe he's organizing last minute dates.
Oh my goodness. Exactly. Or even some of the texts will be late in the evening, and they will try to lead you into sexual dirty talk, or send me some photos. Oh, what you're wearing, they'll try to lead you into that dirty talk. And you need to, it's so easy, as when you message or text or in the moment, to respond quickly. Because,
that's a very typical of a player. It's never about how you are. It's what color is your underwear, right?
Exactly. And also, like, it's funny, as ladies, we have a very strong intuition, but for some reason, when we're in the situation, we always say, oh, no, he's a good guy. Now, you know how you have that feeling that one red flag comes up, but you're like, oh, no, I'm going to give him a chance. That is like the first red flag right there. He just disrespected you or your boundaries somehow, some way, which then leads into you just disrespected yourself too, right? Self-love.
When they disrespect a boundary and you allow it, you're really disrespecting yourself.
Exactly. And it's sad because, like I said, everything, usually when it's a player, everything happens too fast, too soon. And then in the end, you're kicking yourself in the butt. Like, why didn't I see that? Why did I do that? Why did I say that? So you really have to step aside, recognize the red signs, the red flags, and just put a stop to it. As soon as there's any signs of disrespecting you, being too pushy, like pushing you, I want to meet here instead what's comfortable and best for you, right there, that's a sign. You're not a gentleman.
Another typical thing a player does, and a guy told me this and my jaw dropped to the ground at the time, but basically this is how he explained it. And ladies, you're not going to like this when you hear this, but he said when a player walks into a bar, for example, and there's two really pretty, blonde, gorgeous girls, and one has daddy issues, or she lacks confidence or whatever, and the other one does not. He would go with the girl with the daddy issues, or was hurt, or doesn't believe in love or commitment, or whatever your thing is, or just letting go of a heartbreak, because you're an easier target.
Exactly. So they recognize what your weakness is and basically, like I said, manipulate you and use that against you, which is being very disrespectful, but they don't care. They're selfish. They want to do what's best convenient for them, where to meet up, what time. So I notice some of the new things when the new games is when they arrange a date to meet you for the first time, there's no clarity. And us ladies, safety comes first. You need to really emphasize, okay, where exactly we're going to meet? No, that's not convenient for me. How about this location? Or provide me with an address, the name and location. Because some guys are very sneaky, and I heard this in the past from my clients. They'll provide an address, but the address isn't to that location, the restaurant you think you're going. It's the location of where they live. And then their excuse would be, that is, oh my, that's a huge, big red flag. And once they do that, their cover is, oh, it's hard to find parking, or we'll save money in parking. We'll carpool together. So it's convenient. You meet me at my place, park here, and we'll go together. Well, then again, that's a safety concern. And he's being sneaky, conniving, and being disrespectful again.
And you said something really classical there. I would always recommend in your beginning stage of dating, if he ever says, would you like to meet me at my house, and then I'll drive us to a restaurant, don't take up on that offer.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's not their business where you live. And I always think it's essential for your first meeting. It should be up to the lady, what she's comfortable, where to meet, what's safe for her. Because that's what a gentleman would want. He wants what's convenient for you. And you know what? I find even some of the players that happened in the past with my clients, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to drive out to the area, but what do I get in return? So we're just going to meet for coffee or for quick lunch. That's it. I'm driving 45 minutes. Right there, somebody just disrespect your boundaries, right? The gentleman, or so-called gentleman, I should say.
Yeah, and that's a guy who's pushy, and a pushy guy is not looking for a long-term relationship. Because a quality guy doesn't want to mess it up with you. Right?
So yeah, if the ladies, because a lot of people are utilizing online dating. So if you're noticing like they're too dreamy or things just too smooth talking, charming, and just happening too fast, too soon, like as soon as they message you within that day or the next day, they're asking your phone number, they're meeting you, that's a red sign usually.
Another sign is, now I'm kind of going off sort of in real life, but anyone message you off Facebook or anyone wanting to meet you from another country and says they're landing in your area, total player, totally in the opposite direction, big red flag. Also, another really classic is if you object to something he says, he's calling you high maintenance or there's something wrong with you. You're not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. Or their exes are always stalkers or psychos or.
Yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up. Talk a bit more about the exes and the psychos that he's had a string of as well.
Right, exactly. But, I also noticed a lot of players, they're vague. They're vague when you ask questions. They're always deflecting the questions, vague about trying to get to know them and bind with them because they don't want that connection, right? They're an open market.
And I always say this, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. A player really is just a guy that it's the same as a woman who dates a married guy because she doesn't want to get hurt. I remember a lady saying this to me and going, well, you're definitely going to get hurt, right? Because she was afraid of commitment. And a player generally is a guy who's hurting. He doesn't believe in love. He's doesn't want to commit because of X, Y, and there's stuff going on in him. Most people who are in the right place in their life, feeling good about themselves, feeling good about their life, are looking for long-term love, right?
That is true. And, everybody has issues. No one's perfect. But when those issues come up, like we need to work on it, which a lot of it started when we were young, how you're raised up, your inner child, and through your teenaging years when you started dating. But, you're absolutely right.
Also, Sandy, I always say the most dangerous player is the good guy with potential. So this is the guy that's like maybe just broke up with someone recently and he's not mentally out of it. And he is a good person, but he just wants to fuck around for 6 years till he gets over her, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the rebound. I'm emotionally connected, but I could be physically connected to you. Yeah, that's a huge sign and a turnoff because you have to be, as you know, physically, emotionally, and physically available, to start this new chapter. But once again, there's signs when you first meet somebody, you could tell when you get to know them if they're looking for a serious relationship or they're looking for fun. And we just have to, trust our intuition and see the signs and stop the games because it's really, truly up to us, right? Once the men start playing these games on us, get the ball rolling, it's up to us to put a stop to it and disengage.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest mistake women make. They don't put a stop to it. And a really classic player that's kind of more of a sneaky player is the guy that pretends to be your boyfriend, but he's never committed. He's never really there when you need him, and he avoids family occasions. Right?
Oh, or friends, or meeting your friends. Yeah, so that type of gentleman.
Great sex life.
Oh, yeah, lust, the physical connection. But yeah, and in a relationship, you need all aspects, right? Unless, the lady is looking for that, then, have fun and enjoy it. But, usually those men too will try to convince you and make you believe like, oh, there's this deep, passionate connection. I never had this sexual feeling and a desire with anyone but you, that misleading information and feeling.
And then that's how broken they are.
Indeed.
So, Sandy, you've been brilliant. I love everything you've shared with us because I know there's going to be women listening to this going, oh my God, why am I putting up with that? So, Sandy, if somebody's in this situation, they're always attracting player after player, what's your advice to them?
If you're noticing you're always attracting those type of men, the players, you really need to put a stop to that vicious circle and disengage. Step back, really assess yourself. Why do I keep attracting these players? Why am I attracted to them? What am I missing? What am I looking for? Because as you pursue the game, the player game, basically it's a highway damage to your self-esteem, and you're going to always end up heartbreaks. And over time, you're going to become jaded.
Yeah, you will become jaded. And usually if you're attracting a player, is look at your own stuff. Are you afraid of commitment? Are you afraid of getting hurt? What do you believe? What did you experience in childhood? What are you believing about yourself? Look at these things, because I don't know, Sandy, if you know my story, but Magnet for Love used to be Bad Boy Breakthrough because I attracted bad boys, and I had a relationship that ended really badly, and I hit a very low point, but it forced me to change the way I looked at myself and the way I looked at life. It's only until you get to that point where you make a decision, this is not for me anymore, are you going to change your circumstances, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And in order to do that, you have to be strong, right? And work on yourself, self-love, self-development too. And yeah, it starts within, because if you don't love yourself and trust your intuition or even see the red signs, then how is somebody else going to treat you with respect, right? How are you going to enter that relationship?
So Sandy, you shared like amazing content today. So what's that one thing you want to leave the listeners with after our conversation today?
Oh my goodness. So when it comes to dating a player, just be cautious, be ready for anything, and know when to disengage, because it's a roller coaster ride. It's fun. It's dreamy, the knight in shining armor, but why waste your time if you're not looking for that? Why waste your time? Just put an end to the vicious circle.
I found for me, I had to get off the roller coaster. The bigger the high, the bigger the low. And real love is not a roller coaster.
Exactly. It's not.
So Sandy, thank you. So how do I find out more about you?
You can visit my website, which is www.voltconnection.com. I'm also on Facebook under Volt Connection, and Twitter. So I'm searchable.
She is, and she's fab. And she's just shared with you the most amazing player signs ever. Write them down, look out for them, and stop putting up with this crap.
Yeah, we could go on forever with this topic. The list could be endless. Yeah, exactly. So thank you again for having me.
No worries. And I just want to say very quickly, if you enjoyed our conversation, head on over to our Facebook group, Magnet for Love. We'd love to see you there. It's on the podcast page, www.lornapoole.com/podcast. And we continue the conversation. And again, thank you, Sandy, for being here. This has been amazing.
Oh, thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for joining me on the Magnet for Love podcast. Excited and feeling ready to meet the man of your dreams, but don't know where to start? Do you feel like you have no idea what you're doing to get it right this time? Ready to get some answers? Then head on over to www.lornapoole.com and let's get you living the life and love you've always dreamt of.